Rough seas devour captains and ships that dare to traverse their tumultuous domain. Oceans and seas bear witness to wreckage of once graceful vessels. Perpetually questioning what led to their demise, we invite you to accompany us through the sinking ships captured on camera, unraveling the mysteries behind their tragic encounters. Hanzo Constitution. In the midst of an adrenaline-fueled moment, imagine yourself passionately cheering for your beloved football team when suddenly a ship interrupts the game. The people of Pakfulam were on the verge of experiencing a similar unexpected turn of events as the German container ship Hanzo Constitution nearly collided with the shoreline wall beside the Stanley Host Sports Centre's football field. Bewildered and amazed, the residents observed the container slowly approaching the wall with no one to halt its progress. Fortunately, the captain's swift thinking prevented an imminent crash, although the massive 633-foot vessel appeared to be sinking from every angle. Powerful monsoon winds pushed the ship off course, compounding the perilous situation as the engine failed. It seemed inevitable that the shore would become a scene of destruction. Yet the remarkable expertise of the captain, coupled with a stroke of fortune from the sea gods, miraculously saved the container. It was an awe-inspiring spectacle by the shore. Russian cargo ship. Kids, remember, never drive under the influence after a night out, and certainly don't attempt to navigate a cargo ship. The recent incident in Busan, South Korea, involving a Russian cargo vessel colliding with the Gwangun Bridge serves as a stark reminder. It appears the captain had indulged in excessive revelry the previous night. The ship, loaded with 1,415 tons of steel coil and having already offloaded 1,495 tons of iron pipes, created a deafening impact, shattering the lower portion of the bridge like a broken cookie. Unfortunately, there were no rewards for the captain. He underwent a thorough investigation and alcohol testing. Authorities expressed concerns over the ship's incorrect route, as it was originally bound for Russia and had been sailing in the opposite direction. The collision was monumental, causing the vessel to tilt precariously. Without a fortunate twist of fate, it likely would have sunk. Sandpiper. Prepare to redefine the concept of arriving just in time. The pleasure craft Sandpiper found itself in distress, prompting a mayday call to the US Coast Guard as it became stranded amidst treacherous waters. Towering waves reaching the height of a 4-story apartment building posed an insurmountable threat to the captain and his vessel. However, fortune smiled upon Sandpiper when a nearby USCG mission was conducting drills. In a thrilling turn of events, the rescue swimmer was mere moments away from reaching the captain when an unexpected wave took them by surprise. The immense force capsized Sandpiper, subjecting it to multiple rolls in the unforgiving water. The haunting sight of the ship's struggle will forever linger in our memories. Fortunately, the determined rescuer persisted, clinging to the captain. Battling against the relentless current, they paddled their way to safety, showcasing an indomitable spirit in the face of adversity. Jin Tian. The tale that follows is as ancient as the sea itself. It reminds us that not all who embark upon its vast expanse reach their intended destination. Such was the fate of the Jin Tian, now resting beneath the ocean's depths. Distressingly, the ship transmitted a mayday call near the remote Jango Islands in southwestern Japan, seldom visited realm for humanity. Despite a crew of 22 souls, only 5 were fortunate enough to be rescued amidst the biting chill of freezing temperatures. As the crew persistently signaled for help, the vessel gradually succumbed to the depths. When aid finally arrived, no trace of the ship remained afloat, only fragments of lifeboats attesting to its existence. A joint rescue mission between Japan and South Korea was initiated, but luck and weather conspired against them. With each passing moment, the focus shifted from saving lives to recovering the fallen bodies. Given the frigid seas, hypothermia was suspected as the harrowing cause of their demise. Despite the efforts of the brave lifeguards who managed to retrieve 8 bodies, 9 still remained lost to the unforgiving sea. OS-35. Witnessing the public spectacle of a ship's demise elicits a profound sense of distress. Such was the case with the bulk carrier OS-35 slowly succumbing to sinking at the port of Gibraltar, its fate beyond prevention. Despite its voyage, the vessel collided with an anchored LNG carrier, leaving it lodged beyond Catalan Bay. Although the bow of the carrier sank into the seabed, the stern remained intact. Swift action ensured the rescue of all crew members, but the vessel itself seemed beyond repair. Harsh waters corroded its inner structure, rendering salvage impossible. Gradually, the stern of the ship began descending into the depths. Authorities in Gibraltar attempted to salvage remnants, but unfavorable weather thwarted their efforts, forcing the difficult decision to deliberately sink the OS-35. Subsequently, a new plan was devised to salvage what remained of the ship, bits of cargo and remnants of its once mighty hull, becoming the final chapter in its story. MV Stella Banner. The MV Stella Banner, a massive ore carrier flagged under the Marshall Islands, faced a fate akin to the Titanic. On its journey to China in February 2020, the ship carried a staggering 295,000 metric tons of iron ore. However, an ill-fated decision by the captain led the vessel astray. Deviating from the planned route, they attempted to navigate through a sandbar. It proved to be a disastrous choice, comparable to a guide on swiftly sinking a ship. Water swiftly flooded the vessel as it faltered, overwhelming the crew's efforts to control the ingress with pipes. Despite the captain's desperate maneuvers, the ship fractured, prompting a final distress call. They managed to steer towards shallower waters, but subsequent investigations revealed irreparable damage. The ship had to be intentionally sunk. Captured on camera, the vessel's demise marked a $1 million loss. Fortunately, there were no casualties. Shing 56. The unforgiving forces of crashing waves and unyielding ice sheets hold valuable lessons, as witnessed in the tragic tale of the Titanic. The mention of ice and coast together should signal a change of course. However, China's Shing 56 learned this lesson too late. Transporting aluminium, the vessel became trapped in ice sheets in Russia's Strait of Tartary near Venino port. Despite efforts to contain the ship's fractures, the captain eventually made an SOS call. Sensing impending doom, the crew made a daring decision that leaves one breathless. Spotting a passing Russian ferry, they recognized it as their sole chance of survival until help arrived. Bravely traversing treacherous ice sheets, they reached the ferry and were rescued. Sadly, the ship met a different fate. Ingress of water proved insurmountable, forcing pumping efforts to be abandoned. Days later, the ship's sinking was captured on camera. Voichi Bernadette. Voichi Bernadette, a vessel with a dubious past, met its fitting end in Port Fierce Inlet, St. Lucie County. Donated by the U.S. Customs and Border Agency in Miami, the sinking ship found a unique purpose. Unsalvageable, it became an artificial reef, a haven for marine life. Voichi Bernadette's scuttling holds an intriguing backstory. The vessel has a long history of drug smuggling within the United States, leading to its confiscation. Repurposed for environmental protection, it now serves as a symbol of poetic justice. The country's gift turned a sinking ship into a sanctuary, a testament to the transformation of a troubled past into a positive contribution to the marine ecosystem. Iranian cargo ship. Witness the epitome of a rookie mistake aboard a small cargo ship, proudly flying the Iranian flag. This ill-fated vessel succumbed under its own weight, surpassing its maximum capacity and defying regulations. Already deteriorating, it was unable to withstand the uneven distribution of cargo. On the verge of collapse, the captain, perhaps unknowingly, delivered the final blow to the ship's waning existence. The vessel's demise unfolded before a captivated audience, immortalized by locals who captured the spectacle on their cameras. El Faro. In a race against time, Captain Michael Davidson of El Faro desperately pleaded for assistance before he and his crew met their tragic fate beneath the sea's surface. The sinking of El Faro echoes the haunting reality of ignored distress calls, akin to unanswered 911 emergencies. When Hurricane Joaquin's ferocity rendered the US-flagged cargo ship helpless, Davidson made repeated distress calls to the company on shore and the ship's security alert system. Regrettably, his pleas were met with insufficient responses, if any at all. Most disheartening was the callous indifference displayed by the maritime company Tote, which failed to address the urgent situation. Ship records reveal the uncomfortable flooding in El Faro's final moments. Davidson ordered the crew to abandon ship in life rafts, selflessly aiding a crew member before all communication ceased. On October 1st, El Faro succumbed to the depths, and when authorities arrived, the entire crew of 33 had vanished, forever lost in the abyss. USS Radford. The USS Radford, a faithful wartime destroyer, continues its noble mission by protecting marine life in the Indian River inlet. After being decommissioned in 2003, a joint effort between Virginia, Maryland and Delaware repurposed the vessel for reefing. Recognizing its potential, the American Marine Group spent 14 months preparing the ship for its final voyage to the Atlantic. With the assistance of the Cape May Lewes ferry MV Delaware, the ship was scuttled, bidding farewell to its former crew. This endeavor aimed to create the largest artificial reef, providing both ecological benefits and enhanced diving opportunities. It is a fitting and honorable end for a dedicated warrior, ensuring its usefulness and legacy endure in the depths of the ocean. USS Leftwich. The USS Leftwich, a resilient post-World War II destroyer, showcased its endurance in the face of adversity. Navigating through the perilous Gulf Coast, it braved the wrath of hurricanes David and Frederick, accomplishing record-breaking transit to the Gulf of Mexico. After undergoing necessary upgrades, the USS Leftwich returned to service with enhanced missile systems. Despite a collision with the USS Edison which caused significant damage, the ship persevered and played a vital role in operations like Nimble Archer and Desert Shield. Regrettably, in 1998, the USS Leftwich was decommissioned to ensure the security of strategic warships. To protect its capabilities from prying eyes, the ship was intentionally scuttled in the Pacific Ocean in 2003, finding its final resting place beneath the ocean's depths. The USS Leftwich's legacy as a resilient vessel that withstood hurricanes and fulfilled crucial military duties will be remembered even as it rests silently beneath the waves. Pura Vida Princess. Costa Rica's Pura Vida Princess ship encountered a harrowing experience, turning a peaceful vacation into a nightmare. Shortly after setting sail, a distress call was sent out, blaming the ship company for the disastrous situation. The area was plagued by strong, gusting winds, with weather advisories explicitly warning against venturing into such treacherous conditions. Disregarding these warnings, the ill-fated journey of the Pura Vida Princess claimed the lives of 3 passengers. Panic ensued as the captain made the distress call near Punta Leona Beach, with passengers desperately seeking life jackets. Tragically, it was too late as a part of the ship collapsed, leaving people trapped beneath the wreckage. However, thanks to the availability of lifeboats and rafts, all other passengers and crew members miraculously survived. The loss of 3 elderly individuals remains a haunting reminder of the tragic incident. Ryu Anmara. In 2012, the fishing vessel Ryu Anmara made a mysterious appearance in US waters, defying its owner's expectations. Originally moored in Honshu, Japan, the vessel's unexpected journey was likely triggered by the devastating earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan. In a dilapidated state, the ship emerged as a weathered wreck from the sea. It sailed as a ghost ship for several days until Canadian authorities discovered it. Astonishingly, the ship's owner had presumed it had sunk during the tsunami, unaware of its actual fate. Despite the efforts of the Canadian Fishing Agency and the US Coast Guard to salvage what was left of the vessel, little could be salvaged. With no hope of recovery, the decision was made to scuttle the ship to prevent any potential navigational hazards. Ryu Anmara found its final resting place far from its home in Japan. Rainbow Warrior. Amidst the era of nuclear weapons testing, the French government's decision to conduct nuclear tests in French Polynesia faced strong opposition. Neighboring countries already declaring the region nuclear-free, and environmental groups like Greenpeace were vehemently against these plans. In a bold act of protest, Greenpeace's ship, the Rainbow Warrior, embarked from Auckland, New Zealand with the intent to make a statement. Tragically, the situation took a shocking turn when the ship was targeted and bombed, engulfed in flames as an act of terrorism. The responsibility for this act of destruction fell upon 2 French nationals who planted limpet mines. Initially, the French government denied involvement, resorting to diplomatic tactics. However, subsequent investigations revealed the involvement of French intelligence in the operation. The sinking of the Rainbow Warrior proved to be a major public relations disaster for France, severely damaging its international reputation. Karg. In June 2021, the world teetered on the edge of war as Iran and Israel faced escalating tensions. The flashpoint came with the destruction of Iran's largest warship, plunging it into the depths of the ocean and igniting a dangerous confrontation. The incident unfolded in the Gulf of Oman, a familiar setting for geopolitical naval clashes. As the cargo ship Karg sailed toward a routine Navy drill, A fierce inferno engulfed a significant portion of its structure, casting an eerie glow across the night sky. With 400 individuals on board, the crew faced a sinking vessel but swiftly acted, donning life jackets and leaping into the sea. As the remnants of the ship bobbed above the water's surface, a section eventually succumbed to the depths near the port of Jask, extinguishing the ferocious blaze. Curiously, the Iranian government remained tight-lipped, vaguely pointing fingers at Israel for the incident. However, one thing is clear: since 2019, the Gulf of Oman has witnessed a series of unfortunate events, with commercial ships engulfed in flames amid mounting geopolitical tensions. The mystery surrounding these incidents adds to the volatile atmosphere in the region. If you found this video informative, please show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, sailors.